There's a lot of people here who are very, very willing to help. As long as, of course, you know what you want, they're really willing to help, share their insights, open up their connections, etc. This community is really open for business. The amount of money that is moving from venture capital into female-led businesses, or even coming from female investors and moving into the venture capital space, are absolutely minuscule. As a result, what AwakenAngels is doing, in my opinion, is it's getting to the heart of the issue. One is that it's raising awareness about how to actually do this. Because of the community right across the Atlantic, from the UK, the US, Ireland and further afield that AwakenAngels is building, it's opening up the relationships. But it's also creating the peer mentoring that I think needs to happen as well. How women learn from other women and other investors. It doesn't just have to be women. But that sense of peer mentoring, that sense of the ability to not always know what the questions are and ask others, am I asking the right things? I think that's what the team are doing. I always say to people, there's a very, very thin line between a role model and feeling inadequate. Sometimes we can look at people who are on stage and go, what the hell have I been doing with my life? I will tell one brief story about a time that I did my TEDx talk in Belfast, and the first person up to speak was a woman who had swam from Florida to Cuba. The next one up was an 11-year-old millionaire entrepreneur. My TED Talk was 5 ways to define yourself and turbo boost your career. This woman came up and tapped me on the shoulder and she says, were you the woman who did the TED Talk today? And I said, I was, yeah. And she says, you don't mind me saying, you know, I got more out of yours than the others. And I said, now look it, you're grand, right? You're okay, seriously, you're very kind. But I said, honestly, I look who was up before me. And she says, no. She says, I'm too old to be an 11-year-old entrepreneur. She says, I'm hardly going to get the swimming togs out now, and I'm never going to be a billionaire. She said, you I could connect with. They've catalysed a lot of energy, time, money, expertise. They've catalysed an awful lot of that to happen and to move forward, and I'm really, really, really excited to see where that's going to go. There's laughter and there's connections being made, and everybody that I meet throughout these past 2 days have always said, like, what can I do for you, etc. And I think the relaxed nature of this, the choose your own adventure nature of this, and the fact that this has been done for the first time across the full island, I think is very important from that perspective of how to make soft connections. And also as well, the networking that's happening here is absolutely phenomenal. They've brought in speakers from all over the world, and with a common goal of simply helping people move forward. There is a big mix of who's here. Some people they've gone massively a road ahead. Some people are on the way back and sharing it with others. And what I'm hearing, a lot of people are saying, given the time of the year and the place that we are, that they need a time to stop and reset. They're at an intersection in their maybe professional and personal lives, and here is just the right antidote along the way.